Let's face it, as a senior military officer, you've been putting off a lot of the military retirement decisions for a long time. Your responsibilities were just too great. You did a career in the military for a reason. You knew you were going to get a pension, and one day this was going to come and you were just going to have to deal with it. Here you are, and a lot of these decisions have to do with a couple things. What do you do? Who are you and what are you worth? What are you going to get paid? What's the money side of this and how does that impact your financial stuff? And then really, what are your VA disability benefits? What's your medical rating? What I've discovered in the years that I've been working with military retirees, and the whole reason I created US VetWealth is that all three of those things, they're meant to be helpful. And there's all sorts of programs and stuff to guide you through it. Fortunately, each one of those takes you in a whole different direction with a whole nother list of priorities. And you don't know which one is the most important. You're given a lot of information, a lot of choices to make, a lot of decisions to make, and it's just really stressful. And you don't know where to turn. And so that's what we want to do in this video is address one of the more impactful decisions, especially on the financial side of things, but also on the health side of things and preparing for, what are your post-military options, solidifying either something in place or a more privatized approach. Either way, having competent and confident decisions wherever you can is going to reduce the stress in military retirement process. When it comes to the survivor benefit plan, knowing what is the value of your pension and what are the costs, what are the benefit payouts? What are the scenarios where something can happen? What are the probabilities? Unfortunately, we get stuck with the paralysis by analysis because we assume our medical ratings telling us that we're not healthy. We're so focused on the job, and that seems like the bigger priority. And then we went through the checklist of the retirement briefing and they told us what to do. And so you just want to know, how do we make the decision? What are the variables? And where everybody gets stuck is with the cost versus benefit analysis. Am I going to get the bang for the buck when we're looking at the potential outcomes? Because it seems like most likely the retiree is going to pass away before the spouse. Let's just check that off the list and deal with the consequences. And unfortunately, what I hear from a lot of retirees who have been out for 5, 6, 7, 8 years and started to notice the payment coming out of their paycheck, and they realized they hadn't addressed it and they weren't getting rewarded for their health. They're still a healthy person and they don't want to pay for it anymore, but they still have to. So you're in a position where depending on your time frame, we can address this in a number of different ways. So in this video, we're talking about, how do you make the decision? How do you simply sit down with your spouse and say, is this the plan we want to go with? Or do we want to look at alternative scenarios? Because the most important message that we teach at US Vet Wealth is the whole point of military retirement is that it's time to stop following orders, that the benefits are a benefit in that they are available to you, but there might be an approach as a high income earning military retiree, potentially in a high net worth situation, or you will be in the next 10, 20 years, there's a better than benefits scenario and many more positive return on investment outcomes available to you if you've got the right health situation, if you've got the right financial situation. And of course, if you got the desire to break out of yet another 30-year commitment to the government. And the survivor benefit plan is kind of an introduction to a more privatized approach for high income earning retirees. Whether or not you qualify for an alternative is something we'll also talk about at the end of this video so that you can know, one, what's the decision we need to make here? And then two, what do we do next? That's it. That's all you need to know. The whole survivor benefit plan thing, all the Facebook groups, asking your friends what they did. It's an individual situation, has nothing to do with what's the retirement briefings. All that is just information on what the benefit is. You can Google that. That's easy. The math part is easy. It's all fixed cost. Hard part is knowing what are the outcomes you're trying to achieve. Don't worry. I'm here to tell you it's actually not that hard. It's fascinatingly simple. We just got to decide, what do we want? Now, what's right in the definition of the survivor benefit plan is that there's only a benefit when there's a survivor, and that's the whole plan. That's the one outcome of the situation. So what does that mean? This is the decision chart. This is the tool that I think if you just sit down and take a look at it real quick and say, hey, what are the outcomes we want to have available to us? When we know what the survivor benefit plan, this has to happen in order for a little bit of this to happen. Now, of course, This is after assuming many years of everybody being alive. So we're getting bigger chunks of change, but survivor benefit plan is only half of what the pension is. So we think this is going to go on for a long time. So if that's going to go on for a long time and we question whether or not this is really enough, what if, based on your health, if you're in a situation where you are healthier, you are more financially viable, if there's a way to increase the odds where we can get bigger return on investment and more probability return on investment, regardless of the outcome, that's basically the better than the benefit approach. That's the way that you're going to have a lot more flexibility and control. And this is just simply new advances in the insurance industry and financial strategy that are now available to you as a high income earner. Similar to stuff that have been around for a long, long time. It's just now more available to folks in the mid to low six-figure range. And so it becomes more beneficial to the amount of return on investment you can get from what would otherwise be a cost to the survivor benefit plan. So if we're looking for more outcomes, then we want to know, okay, what do we do next? Can we qualify? What is my health? You've been told as you were going through the medical process, your whole military career, to check off things that make it seem like you're sicker than you probably are. And so you have a lot of doubt and fear around your health status. And a couple things. One, it's probably not nearly as bad as you might assume, regardless of what the VA rating is. And the second thing is you can improve it. You can improve it quite drastically. And that should be a part of your military transition process. Anyways, as a senior officer, you've probably neglected some of that for a number of years. But what we know at US VetWealth is that your health is going to impact your wealth one way or the other. If at this moment we are going to use your health to impact your wealth by simply not being stuck in this scenario and giving you a lot more options, that's just going to pay off way better for you in the end. If you're healthier and focusing more on various aspects of your health, you're going to enjoy your post-military life better. It's going to increase your opportunities for increasing your income. And of course, this all ties together. But hopefully this is helpful to make a decision. How do you know if you should attempt to qualify? So what we do at US Vet Wealth is we work with folks in a couple of different ways. We've got a number of resources, videos, guides, where you can dive in as deep as you need to figure out your strategy and figure out what you'd want to apply for. So the good news is applying to qualify through us is absolutely free of charge. We'll walk you through that process. We'll consult you on designing how you want to go through it. However, if you want to do a more detailed analysis, you can hire us to do the analysis with you, and you can click the link to figure that out. I hope you found the simple SBP decision matrix simple to get a lot more information on how to make these decisions, whether it's the calculations or some of the philosophy around making these decisions. I encourage you to go inside our portal, read our guide, check out as many videos as you need, watch the case study specifically for your rank and time and service. And if we haven't made one yet, please recommend one that we do. And if you ever want to get on a hot seat with us, we do so much inside there. It's a more private and safe space off of the social medias, but where you can ask the questions that are more unique to your situation as a high income earning military retiring officer, senior NCO. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Topics around survivor benefit plan, thrift savings plan. I'd like to invite you to our new military retirement blueprint. You can get access in the link below, and we'll see you inside the new portal.